Hey everyone, welcome back. I've got another episode here. If you've been watching Facebook on the Chicago Milwaukee Northwestern, you know I've been working on the layout a lot lately, and well, shouldn't say a lot, but lately. And I've got it working, I've got it running. I'm working on some operations, so I'm going to kind of give you a quick rundown of what I'm going to do and what the plan is while I'm at this stage as things continue. I'll obviously include that, but for the moment, this is what I have, so this is how I'm going to operate it. So I'm going to flip it around and let's take a look. Alright, so over here we've got the north end of the island. So this is themed after Jones Island or the Port of Milwaukee, as more of you may be more familiar with it as. But this is just a very rough version. So we've got Pepsi on this end, which is going to take plastics and corn syrup cars, box cars from materials. We've got American Materials, which is going to take flow cars, cement hoppers, some different cars coming in there. Kind of like these guys here, the Lafarge cars, the FlexiFlows, and your standard 2 bays and cement hoppers. Coming down, we've got Morton Salt, which is going to use the larger hoppers. Primarily Milwaukee Road and NS. The Wisconsin Southerns are on there just because I had them on here already and just wanted to use them. And then down here, at last but not least, we have Sprecher, which is basically going to get box cars in with hops, packaging, labels, bottles, stuff like that. Nothing major, nothing frequent. And then the track here, basically from this switch to here, which is where the road's going to be, coming into the port, at least one of the roads. This is what I'm going to call the inbound track. So this is where the freight from the main line is going to drop off a string of cars, usually between 4 and 6 cars, and I'll switch them out as I have time. So I'm just going to throw on some random cars here, and we're going to switch them out. So the hoppers, the 3 covered hoppers we have, are all going to Morton Salt. The corn products car is going to Pepsi, and the box car here is going to Sprecher. Kind of the theme I have is that Milwaukee Road and NS have a bagging facility for Morton Salt down in Kansas City, so you're going to see a lot of Milwaukee Road and Kansas City Southern cars going in for Morton Salt here. And I've got a whole theme behind everything, but I'm not going to get into it, otherwise this video will never end. So basically, I'm going to take my Rapido SW1200 down there. I'm going to take the cars that I have down there, get those out of the way, swap them out for these guys, and then eventually get them all switched in. So let's get started. I'm going to hyperlapse the next couple of parts here for you guys so you don't have to watch everything in real time, and we'll get going. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed the little operating session. If you saw at the end, I was making some notes, writing some things down. What I'm doing is making a list of rules for operating in the yard. So I'm going to run down those rules real quick. It's something that just kind of adds a little something to the operating session. That's not necessarily making it more realistic, but makes it take a little bit longer, a little bit more thought into it. And with the Proto Throttle, it's so easy to add more to operations. So I'm just going to adjust this here a little bit. Make sure this isn't looking at my stomach. Alright, go. So, just going over generic rules of operating the port. I'm just going to call it the port. Because if I have it my way, I'll be operating electrics on the layout one day, and then I'll be doing steam, and then I'll be doing the Midwest, and then I'll be doing, the southern states like Alabama and Georgia, Louisiana, for operating the Kansas City Southern. So I'm just going to call it the port. Port operating rules. Must use the horn and bell at crossings, must use 2 short blasts when changing direction, and must give 3 short blasts if stopping and continuing. And my reasoning behind that is if someone sees a train stop in the yard, oh, well, he's stopping. And just anything else, he might think it's either stopped and he's going to stay stopped, or he's probably going to go the other direction. But if he's just coupling up to more cars and he hears 3 blasts, he knows, hey, he's going to continue coming this way, I need to be careful. So special rules as it applies to Pepsi. Pepsi has 2 tracks. It is the largest industry on the layout, and as far as track goes, not necessarily traffic, but track, and is the largest corporate-owned business on the layout at the moment. So Pepsi's specific or special operating rules are a coasting approach only with an open switch. So if the switch is open and going into the plant, it has to be coasting. You can't have the power on. So notch 0 or brakes applied. 4 short blasts when entering the property. So just 4 short blasts just to let everyone in Pepsi know, like, hey, the train's here. Let's get out, get ready to handle this. And then the bell is on while moving on the Pepsi property. So the moment you hit that switch that's open going into Pepsi, the bell has to be on, and that's for the safety of the people working at the plant that might be coming out to prepare a car, making sure that if they're picking up the box car, that, hey, someone needs to check that, make sure the doors are closed and locked and the platform's up. And then 2 long blasts when leaving. That way everyone knows, okay, the train's gone, they're done, we can go out upon our business. The locomotive must be engaged until the brake is properly set. That means you're not shoving a car and then hitting the brakes and not letting it roll until it hits the stops or until it coasts or hits something else. None of that. So property damage minimization and just being safe. The next one is no slamming into cars. There's actually a funny story about a friend of mine told me about a switching operator who worked out of the Janesville plant in Janesville, Wisconsin for GM. And I think it was on the Union Pacific. And so I just thought I'd add a little something in there. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. It's kind of a cool story if you know someone who's able to tell you about it. I just don't repeat those stories because you don't know how much is hearsay and you don't know how much might get someone in trouble. I don't know the guy's name, so it doesn't really matter, but I'm not going to comment anyone else's names. That's it for now for operating rules. If I add more, I will. I've just got a short little list. But I think what I might do is type these up. I'm going to make a little panel with the layout of the yard or the facilities out here with the locations of the industries and whatnot. I marked out on Pepsi. Let me flip this around here real quick for you. So I marked out on Pepsi here for the plastic pellet cars will be right here. And then the corn syrup cars will go in the back. And I've actually marked out here and here where the car has to land in order to reach the hose. So I can have a pipe coming from behind the building over to here and a pipe coming over to here for the corn syrup. I've got a box car in there. It'll fit a pretty large box car. There's a little bit of room on the end in case I have 2 or something. But the idea is that Pepsi is very organized. They're very particular about how they have their cars storage and shipping handled. I don't know if I'm going to gate it off or fence it off. That's going to be a lot of extra work, but it would be kind of cool. I have a fence from Woodland Scenics. I just need to know if it will cover here, come across. Oh, sorry, I need to back this up a little bit. There we go. So I'd have the fence come through here, cross over, come back along here for the loading track to give it more space, and then cross over again, and then come across to here, and then this would all be Pepsi. With trailers, trucks, whatever. Eventually this will come out a little bit more when I have my lake boats as an option, and then this will come out a few more inches for trucks and deliveries. But Pepsi's going to be kind of I'm an a-hole. This is what I demand, this is what I require, and I don't get a whole lot of traffic to justify those needs. So no one really likes Pepsi. They're a bunch of, I'm going to try to keep it polite. They're just a bunch of mean people. I need to brush this off. The German Shepherd on here is getting a little dusty. If you guys don't know, these are all Menards buildings. What's really cool is they do light up. Now that I've got them plotted where I want to, I can drill the holes and I can light them up. I can actually light these guys up. I have all the stuff to do that. It'll be really cool. I'm hoping to do night ops soon once I get that done. The only thing is, I want to make sure I have these guys set in their final resting places. I'm not trying to poke any more holes than I already have. But that's about it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys want to see more, let me know what you want to see. It's going to be a while before I get scenery down. I'm going to leave it like this and keep operating. As you saw, I already had to clean the track. Some of this is used track. I've used it prior to this. But these cars, some of them have never been run. And definitely need to keep up on that. So until next time, you guys take care. Let me know what you think. See you down in the comments.